just reduce the numbers of those animals being euthanized every year due to lack of space in shelters and on the streets. We also have a local program called our L.O.L.A.s program, where if local families end up getting in trouble, they can't feed their animals. We have a little inside L.O.L.A.s food bank where we will donate food and supplies to local families that need a little bit of extra assistance. And we want to keep those animals, we want to keep those animals out of the shelters. So anything we can do on our end to help those families not have to make the decision to relinquish their pet to the shelters is huge in our book. And we will also, with the L.O.L.A.s program, take in moms that are pregnant in homes, spay and neuter mom and puppies, and then we'll make sure mom finds her way back home to the original owners.
So just a statistic for you guys, so last year 6.5 million animals entered the shelters nationwide. 1.5 million of those animals were actually euthanized. 3.2 million were adopted, and 710,000 were returned to owners. So 1.5 million animals being euthanized that were totally adoptable. That's a pretty high number, so we're trying to help, you know, these shelters that really need these resources. We work with other rescues to help pull these animals so that we can get them into safe foster homes, and then we can get them adopted to forever families. So it's a pretty big deal.
It is. We work tirelessly. We have almost 100 volunteers now, I think, in the organization. So we've grown exponentially since it was just me and my sister and my husband in the beginning. But yeah, we're at almost 100 volunteers. I think we have upwards of 30 foster homes now. Excuse me. But that's how our organization keeps going, is through the assistance of our volunteers in foster homes. Jamie did a wonderful PowerPoint for us here. Do you want to go through it? I'm having a coughing fit. Sorry, guys.
So not only did we start as a dog rescue, we now also do cats. We do mom cats, we do baby cats, we do pregnant moms, we do old cats, we do FIV cats. So we do our share to pull as many animals that we can possibly from shelters to get them into, like I said, best forever homes. This is one of my favorite pictures. This shows Mocha. That's her in the shelter. She looks totally shut down. She's super depressed, she's sad, she's scared. This is her now. She's in a foster home. She is snuggly, lovable. She will give you a million kisses. So it just shows you, like, you take that risk kind of on any dog. We don't know. She could come out and she could be ferocious. I mean, she really could be. Or it could take a long time to really break those walls down on her, but she really came around pretty quick. And we, just over the weekend, we got about 7 applications on her, so we'll process those, determine the best fit for her. And this is another part of the risk that we take on every single dog that comes. So this is Yukon. He came from Kansas with 4 siblings. When they came to my house. I do quarantine, so I make sure that I can monitor them for any illness that they might come down with. Yukon was totally perfect. I had him for about 30 days at my house. I sent him for their spay and neuter appointments, went to a new foster home. He got really sick about 2 days later. He went completely neuro in his brain. He lost all function of his back legs. As you can tell, very straight legs. He no longer has use of his back legs. Still a little bit slow, but it didn't deter his personality. He's still very lovable. He would run around my house with all the other dogs. And he found a wonderful forever home that's in Connecticut, so we made that happen to get him transported all the way there. So, you know, each dog that we pull, every cat that we pull, we don't really know a story. We don't know what we're going to come out with at the end. It could be great. It could be very devastating. Parvo, we've had a lot of puppies die from parvo. So there's a lot of different things that can happen in the rescue world. But we just keep moving through it. We have great, you know, volunteer base that help us to make sure that every single dog is well taken care of. Every dog also comes into our rescue and right into a foster home. So we're always looking for foster homes. It's basically like you opening your home to dog or cat in need for a minimum of 10 days. We provide all the food, the vet care, we provide treats, toys, kennels, everything that they need. We just ask that they get to the next adoption event. We pay for spays and neuters, everything like that. also being foster-based, we really have the idea of what these animals will do best in a home, whether it be no kids, it's any age of kids, with other dogs. Maybe they're not good with cats, they can jump a 4-foot fence, they're okay with a 4-foot fence. These are the things that we can really learn in a foster home so that we can set up any potential adopter for the best scenario. And then we have many different ways that you guys can volunteer. We can sign off on community service hours, so if any of you guys are needing any of that throughout schooling, you guys can volunteer to help at any of our events. You guys can help do flyers, posters. You can come to Sunshine Ranch where we do have a few dogs that we pulled from shelters in Texas recently to go walk them, give them love, show them care. So there's a lot of different opportunities for you guys. It doesn't matter how old you are. And then also we do donations through PayPal as well as Amazon Smile. Amazon Smile, every purchase you make, a little percent goes back to L.O.L.A.s Rescue. So nothing out of your own pocket, which is pretty nice.
Do you guys have any questions we can answer for you? I know this is a lot of information to take in all at once. Does anybody know what the difference between a shelter and a foster-based rescue is? Not necessarily. That is definitely the perception that is out there. But so our shelters are set up to house large numbers of animals all at once that may come through our both our animal control centers and, like everybody knows, our big shelters in the area. You can go relinquish a dog. You can go adopt a dog or cat. Our foster-based rescues are. And that's our mission, is to have actual real homes taking care of animals. So we go help take the weight off of those shelters. And you're right, there's such a lack of funding and a lack of volunteer base in some of our shelters that those animals tend to get missed. They don't tend to get the attention that they need, which is why a foster-based organization in our eyes is so important, because that's where they get to be a real animal. They get the love and attention they need, they get the constant feeding they need, they're getting the constant cleaning they need, and you can base how their entire attitude is going to be for their next adopter that comes through.
This time of year is really hard. So for Thanksgiving, a couple days before in a Texas shelter, there's actually over 300 people in line to relinquish their pets. Many of them are traveling, they don't have anyone to care for them, and they walk in and say, please take my animal. So Christmas is going to be no different. I'm sure that the shelters are going to be lining up with the same amount, if not probably 500 or 600 people. And this is just over a couple day span of just dumping. So that would be the difference, in the shelters, is that there's so many that it's so hard for the volunteers at shelters to actually give them everything that they need, because they're just inundated.